Next question. A company needs to deploy a web application to the Azure cloud. It uses the Azure Web App Service and the SQL database service. Currently, Azure Web App Services have an SLA of 99.95% and SQL databases have an SLA of 99.99%. Which of the following is the application's SLA? And the options are 1. 99.95% into 99.99% is equal to 99.94%. 2. 99.94% plus 99.99% oblique 2 is equal to 99.97%. 3. 99.99%. 4. 99.95%. And the correct answer is option 1. 99.95% into 99.99% is equal to 99.94%. Explanation. Option 1 is the correct answer. You need to get a composite SLA because you have two services as part of your application. Composite SLAs require multiple services with different availability levels to support a single application. For example, consider an app service web app that writes to Azure SQL database. At the time of this writing, such Azure services have the following SLAs. App service web app is equal to 99.95%. SQL database is equal to 99.99%. What is the maximum expected downtime for this application? If any service fails, the entire application fails. The composite SLAs for this application are 99.95% into 99.99% is equal to 99.94% because each service has an independent chance of failure. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. You need to assign a product license to an Azure Active Directory user, but the user is limited to a single product license assignment. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is, it's no. Explanation. The correct answer is no. Many Azure Active Directory Azure AD services require you to license the service for each user or group and associated members. You can also assign multiple licenses to users in Azure Active Directory. Next question. Your company has objects stored in the archive access tier of Azure Blob Storage. What must you do before accessing these objects? And the options are 1. Take a snapshot of the objects. 2. Rehydrate the objects. 3. Change the type of the objects. 4. Change the lifecycle rule of the objects. And the correct answer is option 2. Rehydrate the objects. Explanation. Option 2 is the correct answer. Objects stored in blob storage are in the archive tier. Therefore, to access an object stored in blob storage, you must first rehydrate the object. While the blob is in archive storage, the blob data is offline and cannot be read or modified. To read or download a blob in an archive, you must first rehydrate it to the online tier. You cannot take a snapshot of a blob in archive storage. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Your company has objects stored in your Azure storage account. The cost of data storage is the same regardless of the region where your data is stored. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is, it is no. Explanation. The correct answer is no. If you check the price list of Azure Blob Storage, you will find a region selector. If you select a region here, you can see that the cost varies slightly depending on the region where the blob is located. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Your company has objects stored in your Azure storage account. You are only charged for the amount of data stored, not for the amount of read and write operations. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is, it's no. Explanation. The correct answer is no. The cost of Azure storage is determined by several factors. In addition to changes based on data capacity, etc., data transfer charges for read and write operations are incurred. The total cost of Azure storage depends on the following. Number 1, the amount of data stored per month. Number 2, the number and type of operations performed and the cost of data transfer. Number 3, the selected data redundancy option. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Your company has objects stored in your Azure storage account. Transferring data between Azure storage accounts in different Azure regions is free. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's no. Explanation. The correct answer is no. In Azure, all services that transfer data between regions have a cost. Data transfer charges are calculated based on bandwidth. Bandwidth is the data that goes in and out of Azure data centers and the data that moves between Azure data centers. Other transfers are explicitly covered by the Content Delivery Network, express route pricing, or peering. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. When you are configuring traffic distribution to virtual machines, you can use Azure Traffic Manager to distribute traffic to the virtual machines. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's yes. Explanation. The correct answer is yes. Azure Traffic Manager works at the DNS layer to quickly and efficiently forward incoming DNS requests based on your preferred routing method. You can direct and distribute customer traffic to multiple locations, including multiple cloud services and multiple Azure web apps. Traffic Manager can also help you use geographic routing methods depending on your geofencing needs. Next question. You are developing a web application using Azure. This application needs to collect events from multiple sources and process them on the application. Which service can you use to meet this requirement? And the options are 1. Azure DevOps, 2. Azure IoT Hub, 3. Azure Dev Test Labs, 4. Azure Event Grid. And the correct answer is option 4. Azure Event Grid. Explanation. Option 4 is the correct answer. Azure Event Grid makes it easy to create applications with an event-based architecture. This allows your application to collect events from multiple sources and process them on your application. Event Grid has built-in support for events sent by Azure services such as storage blobs and resource groups. Event Grid also supports your own events with custom topics. You can use filters to route specific events to different endpoints, multicast them to multiple endpoints, and ensure that events are delivered. Option 1 is incorrect. Azure DevOps is a group of development support services that allow developers to collaborate and develop applications more quickly using a series of development services. Option 2 is incorrect. Azure IoT Hub is a management service for two-way communication between IoT devices and Azure. It is not suitable for application development event collection, but is used for application development that manages data collection from IoT devices. Option 3 is incorrect. You can use Azure Dev Test Labs to build a fast, easy, and lean development or test environment. It enables quick setup of development environment and test environment. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. You are developing a web application using Azure. Traffic control using Azure Firewall is required for this. Azure Firewall encrypts all network traffic sent from Azure to the internet. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's no. Explanation. The correct answer is no. Azure Firewall is primarily used to protect your network infrastructure. Azure Firewall is a cloud-based managed network security service that protects Azure virtual network resources. A firewall as a fully stateful service with built-in high availability and unlimited cloud scalability. Azure Firewall is not used to encrypt the communication. Separate SSL settings are required for this. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. You are developing a web application using Azure. Traffic control using a network security group is required for this application. You can use network security groups to encrypt all network traffic that Azure sends to the internet. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's no. Explanation. The correct answer is no. Network security groups are used to limit inbound and outbound traffic. They cannot be used to encrypt traffic. A separate SSL setting is required to encrypt that communication. Network traffic sent and received by Azure resources in an Azure virtual network can be filtered using Azure network security groups. Network security groups contain security rules that allow or deny network traffic to and from some types of Azure resources. Each rule allows you to specify the source and destination, the port and the protocol. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Your company plans to connect your office to Azure via VPN. This VPN encrypts all traffic from a virtual machine to the internet. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's no. Explanation. The correct answer is no. You can install a role such as a remote access server for VPN to ensure that traffic is encrypted as it leaves the server. You can configure the Azure VPN gateway within Azure to meet the encryption requirements for both cross-premises S2S VPN tunnels and VPN to VNet connections. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. You are currently using the free edition of Azure Active Directory and have set 100 user accounts and 10 user groups so far. You can reduce the cost of resources by removing these user accounts from Azure AD. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's no. Explanation. Azure Active Directory can create 5 lakhs objects for free. These objects include both users and groups. Therefore, removing a user account from Azure AD does not reduce the cost of resources. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Your company plans to take advantage of the Premium P1 edition of Azure Active Directory. Premium editions are available through the Open Volume License program. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's yes. Explanation. The correct answer is yes. Azure Active Directory is available in 4 editions: free, Office 365 apps, Premium P1 and Premium P2. Premium editions are available through Microsoft representatives, the Open Volume License program and the Cloud Solution Providers program. Number 1. Premium P1. Azure Active Directory Premium Edition adds feature-rich enterprise-level identity management capabilities to help organizations need more demanding identity and access management with on-premises capabilities and the cloud for hybrid users. You can now seamlessly access its features. This edition includes everything that information workers and identity administrators in a hybrid environment need for application access in the cloud: self-service identity access management (IAM) and security. Number 2. Premium P2. Azure Active Directory Premium P2 includes all the features of all other Azure Active Directory editions, as well as advanced identity protection and privileged identity management features. Next question. Select yes if the following statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Your company uses the Premium P1 edition of Azure Active Directory and has set 100 user accounts, 10 user groups, and 10 public IP addresses. You could reduce the cost of these resources by removing the public IP address from Azure AD. Is it yes or no? And the correct answer is it's yes. Explanation. The correct answer is yes. You can save money because of the price associated with public IP addresses. The price of a public IP address in Azure may vary depending on the SKU you choose and the type of IP address, dynamic or static. Thank you for watching this video. Buy our AZ 900 premium questions with 50% off. Check link in the description.